Good Packer Nation morning, guys and dolls. It's Friday. The weekend is almost upon us. And free agency is in full swing. Full swing, you might say, from just about every other team's perspective in the league. But today's Friday. It's your day. Jump on. Let me know who you are, where you're coming at me from, and emoji me your feelings right now. Because if you're like me, we had the big news that Perry was staying with the Pack, and then after that, it's basically Don Barkley. Really. Hi, Tim. Hi, Joseph. Yeah, what are you thinking right now? Are you? We've seen free agents go off the board. There are a few still left. Right now, I think the Patriots and the Browns are winning. Patriots went out, got Gilmore off the Bills. Joseph is here. Justin is here. Ted Thompson is a freaking joke. Guys, it's therapeutic. Today's your day. It's Friday. Matthew is here. Corey is here. And now this morning we get word that contract negotiations with Jared Cook have basically broken down. Hi, Eric, Ronnie. Andrew is here. Yeah, that Jared Cook's going to start visiting some other teams. Basically, contract negotiations have broken off. Roger, Dylan, and Timothy. Dusty is here. Can we trade Ted Thompson for a sack of footballs? Terry is here. Cape Canaveral, Florida. Russie is here. All right. Nathan and Justin. No offer for Hyde. Micah Hyde goes to the Bills. J.C. Treader to the Browns. Which, was expected. What did Micah Hyde got? Like $67 million over 5 years or something. This was richer than Ted Thompson's blood. It's almost as if the whole Perry signing was just too much money for Ted to handle in one day. Hi, Virginia. Hi, Janelle. Circle Real Small is here. We have the dumbest people upstairs. Phil Jones is on. Yeah, I think the contract that Hyde ended up getting, I think, was too rich for our blood anyway, for a sort of versatility player. But they're getting a guy who can play special teams. Bill's getting a good player. And I guess it's the time when stuff like this happens, you have to say, hey, Micah, thanks a lot. You were an awesome Packer. We really appreciated you, man. Good luck to you as long as you're not playing us. Gary is here. Mike is here. Not happy with TT. Yeah, guys, this is your day. I'd kind of dominated the discussion yesterday about Perry. You guys know what I think about that. Then after that happened, pretty much everything shut down, and the Packers don't even seem to be talking. Now we know Eddie Lacy's going to go visit the Seahawks, visit the Minnesota Vikings. TJ Lang is going to visit the Seahawks, going to visit the Detroit Lions. So what do y'all think? Rodgers has been saving McCarthy and Ted Thompson's butts, is one of the comments out there. John wants to choke slam TT. Joseph is mad, and Lacy, Lacy, well, we know that the Seahawks are hard after TJ Lang. He is a priority free agent to them. Candy is sad about this. One of the bright spots to me. Now, I posted about this several weeks ago, and I said, hedging a bet, will Ted Thompson make a move? And my basic point was, don't expect it, not in the first 12 to 48 hours, or 24 to 48 hours. I was actually surprised we were able to get Nick Perry before anything else, before he hit the market. Of course, about $60 million will do that for you. Aaron would like to kick Ted Thompson in a place that in his unmentionables. Yeah. One step forward, two steps back, says Virginia. And, it's not over yet, but again, I did try to temper everyone's enthusiasm to say, listen, we're going to have some disappointment this time around. There's no doubt about it. But for crying out loud, it seems like we're not even in the ball game sometimes. Like Micah Hyde, he was like, I know Thompson's not going to make me an offer that's even close to what I can get. Annette, I've been good. How have you been? I could be better, though. if we would have brought in another free agent, if we would have got TJ Lang signed or Jared Cook, for crying out loud, I think he's top priority right now. Maybe even over TJ Lang. Hi, Tim. Aaron Rodgers must be sad. Yeah, he's not, okay, emoji me. If you're Aaron Rodgers and you're watching this show, which I'm sure Aaron Rodgers does on a regular basis, emoji me your thoughts if you're Aaron Rodgers and you're looking at the situation now. Now you're watching Jared Cook start to go visit other teams. A guy who absolutely wanted to be in Green Bay. Absolutely loved playing in Green Bay. And talks have now broken off. We see it now. It's a lot of angry faces. And if you're Aaron Rodgers, guys, I think sad, angry, I think that you are in the ballpark right there. Now the Patriots went out and got a top-tier free agent, Gilmore, off the Bills. And I think they had $50 million-ish. So they were able to do it. Now there may be some fallout from that in the rest of their backfield. Rodgers will end up like Favre, one ring and wow, yeah. Our team deserves better, says Lisa, and I think we can get some thumbs up for that comment. I do think that's the case. This team, number one priority that I set is hold the team together as it is. You've got, even if we didn't do anything else, keep the team together. I can see, especially on the offensive side of the ball, we didn't have that many people to sign. On the defense, if Micah Hyde goes, at least we have a draft that is heavy in the defensive backfield. Is strong in the defensive backfield. But so far we haven't even done that. Now I can see, again, I'm trying not to get, because frankly, I'm pissed off. I'm upset, just like you guys. And however, this is that period where Ted Thompson actually starts to look. And guys like Lang, guys like Lacey, even guys like Cook is the one that bugs me the most, because Cook has apparently focused himself and his team, his representation on staying in Green Bay. And now to find out this morning, Adam Schefter reporting that talks have broken off. Now, you never know what he's demanding. He may be demanding to be paid as if he's a Pro Bowler. And that number gets pretty high up there again. Virginia says, I am not okay with losing the most versatile player in our defense. And Virginia can probably get a few thumbs up for that comment. Do you think we'll sign anyone, not even re-sign? Right now, it's like you've got to wonder when the only news you hear is that talks with our tight end addition, that was such a fantastic addition to our offense. The only news we get is that those talks have now broken off. We already know Eddie Lacy is going to be like a Minnesota Viking or a Seattle Seahawk. These guys are getting sick and tired of this crap, to be quite honest. They know they're going to get lowballed. And it's not, here's the deal, it's not as if we don't have any money to spend. Tori says Bryce will step in and fill Hyde's role. I am excited for him. I think I love that guy as a hard hitter. He's got work to do. But I think we're showing ourselves to have almost zero veteran presence in the defensive backfield. Absolutely none, except Ha Dix, Morgan Burnett, basically. And then we've got third-year players. Third-year players are our seasoned vets anymore. And at some point, there's a breaking point to that. But here's the deal, guys. And I want you to emoji me your thoughts, because remember, one thing I said, and I'm going to be honest, there are times when I'm the only person that I hear anywhere in the blogosphere saying it. And the one thing that I think I said, and I'm afraid is going to come true, is that everybody talks about Ted Thompson and how much cap space we have, and you can't talk about how much cap space we have, because Ted Thompson is going to save back $20 million and to do nothing with regardless. So now here's my nightmare scenario right now is Ted Thompson. We go into the 2017 season and we are $25 million under cap. And that's the one thing, no, none of the Packers beat writers did I ever hear talk about this. The fact that Ted Thompson, we can't talk about, and Jesse's saying $40 million cap. That is not what Ted Thompson is working with. He's trying to work with 20 million of that so he can come into the season 20 some million under the cap again, is what I'm afraid of. Now, you mark my words, it may very well be the case. And that is my nightmare scenario. Because frankly, guys, the cap grows every year anyway. So Thompson, for crying out loud, money sitting in a bank does us nothing. Maybe he's getting a cut on the interest. Who knows? I mean, come on. You got to spend money to make money, is the business saying. In the NFL, sometimes you got to spend money. There are guys out there that can help our team get over the hump. And this is the thing. Everybody talks about the Packers cap space being $40 million, and I can guarantee you, I can't guarantee you because I'm not the decision maker, but I will predict that Ted Thompson doesn't look at it that way. He looks at it as like, oh my gosh, we just spent all this on Nick Perry. We're done. Let's fold up the tents. And frankly, if we go, I was texting my cousin Jeff up in Madison. And if we go into 2017, in my nightmare scenarios, we are like 25 million under cap going into 2017. And the fact of the matter is, I'm gonna get on here and I'm gonna say, I don't know. That would suck. It would just suck. Anyway, that's my mic drop. What are you guys thinking about that? Do you really think Ted Thompson is going to use what we have, the resources that we have, to make this team better? And Devon House is another one that we haven't really heard anything about. We heard the Packers are talking to him. And then nothing. Tim's got a cuss out there for everybody. It's what we use on this show in the place, generally speaking, in the place. Sometimes I have to. My mom watches this show from time to time, so I try to replace the big term for swear words down here in the South is to cuss. So I always say, what the cuss? So that's our replacement terminology when we're pissing, when we're pissing and moaning about Ted Thompson. Ted Thompson, what the cuss are you doing? All right, I don't know. It's like as soon as Perry was done, so was Ted Thompson. He's like, okay, good enough. That's all we can afford. Rodgers will have to lay an egg to help our future. I mean, this is the thing, and this is the thing I've said here. I would never condone or talk about is basically trying to play for our draft pick or something. Get something to shake up the system. And we talked about this. I mentioned my cousin Jeff earlier. This is what he mentioned long, long ago. Remember, we went 4-6, okay? And one of the things Jeff was talking about was, hey, listen, if we find a way to have success and get into the playoffs by the end of this season, are we going to be able to brush all the problems that this team actually has under the rug? And not only that, we're acting as though it was never there. We don't even need to lock up the players we had in 2016, especially on offense. I mean, we don't need to protect Aaron Rodgers with TJ Lang. Nah. Let's make sure, though, for crying out loud, let's make sure we sign Don Barkley back. Most valuable offensive lineman, Don Barkley. For crying out loud. But let TJ walk. And now the bar has been set for TJ, and it's in that $9 million range. We're not getting TJ now for $6 or $7 million a year. No way. We're not getting him for $8 million. It's going to be $10 million that TJ gets. The bar has now been set. If we had gotten a deal done, we could have maybe avoided that. Cussing Don Barkley, says Peter. Forget the playoffs this year, Charles says. Thank you, Ted. Terry says we've wasted half of Aaron Rodgers' career. It was interesting this week, though. We talked about the Wilde and Tausch interview with Aaron Rodgers and the fact that he kind of hinted that they're going to need to look at his contract. But he also made no bones about, Aaron Rodgers made no bones about him wanting to play into his 40s. Now, frankly, I've got this notion, if we keep doing this, Aaron Rodgers is going to be ready to walk, just like TJ Lang is ready to walk, just like a Hyde ready to walk. No, they're not going to get a dude done. Brett wants to bring back Gilbert Brown. At least they could bring back the Gilbert Brown burger. Aaron should cut his own career, draft and develop, and then lose. Yeah, I've been trying to come up with my phrase for that. And we either draft and destroy, which is just throw them out on the field into the fire and let them get hurt as rookies, or, I don't know. It's not the greatest situation right now. Now, we'll see what shakes out. This is the period in which we would expect. And frankly, most years, the New England Patriots are like this too. They let the frenzy go and see what shakes out from that. That's what Ted does too. But the fact of the matter is, Ted, generally speaking, still maybe signs one of these guys. But we still have our own people to take care of right now. If I was Aaron at this point, I'd be second guessing retiring in Green Bay. And I agree. That's one thing that Aaron Rodgers did not say when he talked about playing into his 40s. He did not say, he didn't make any. Most of these players, if they're dead set on retiring as a Green Bay Packer, even Adrian Peterson was talking. I really want to retire as a Viking, and. It may be that Ted Thompson is banking some of this money because he knows, Rodgers is 3 years into a 5-year contract, I guess, a couple years. He's going to have a lot of money to pay Aaron Rodgers. So, but at the same time, Aaron Rodgers, I think, would probably take less money to stay in Green Bay if we could win a damn championship, which we have not been able to do. We have been like one defensive player short for so long. Hashtag not happy, not my GM. Ooh, I might have to use that one. And Ted Thompson has just shown that there are certain positions he does not value. The offensive line in particular, I think he just does not value those. He values them in the draft, but he doesn't seem to value these guys that have stayed and played. And for crying out loud, how can you sit and beat this draft and develop drum and then not sign Micah Hyde? I mean, he was the poster child for draft and develop. We have guys that have proved it. Jared Cook doesn't fall into that. We picked him up in free agency. And I have been here defending Thompson to say, listen, it is not true that he does nothing in free agency. Charles Woodson, Pickett, Jared Cook, these are guys that we picked up in free agency from time to time. But what they do is they beat the drum of draft and develop, and then they're letting those guys go as well. So what do you guys think? I saw one guy was disagreeing with me, which is fine. I just couldn't quite read it fast enough. So I couldn't get the gist of it. So you all can kind of like that comment or have that conversation as well. Fire Ted, please give us an Easter present, please. Aaron's going to be playing with high school talent pretty soon. Defensive back and a strong pass rusher. Don Terry Poe is still out there. It was one of my guys. We'll see what the fallout is too with the Eagles, or not the Eagles, the Patriots bringing in Gilmore because they have a restricted free agent cornerback. Was it not Logan Ryan, but and the fallout may be that they can't get him back, which means Packers may, by hook and by crook, have an opportunity to match there, I think. But again, do you really see it happening? It's like there's a resounding no. Hire Charlie Casserly we've got out there. Who do you think we will need on offense to be successful. I think Cook is at the top of my list right now. I mean, I think we can live without Lang, but for crying out loud, we let Treader go, we let Lang go, and signing Barkley back, frankly, was just like a slap in the face to give the guy. I think they gave him almost $1 million or something like that, over $1 million. I mean, it's cheap for sure, but geez. Why are we allowing Eddie Lacy to visit other teams? Sign him. And I wonder how far apart, Eddie Lacy and the Packers are. Eddie Lacy might be wanting to get a blockbuster deal right now. Adrian Peterson has been sitting around kind of waiting. Nothing's really happened. How about, even the Browns? The Browns have been doing better than us right now. Of course, they have umpteen $1 million in cap space, record numbers. But then they went out, took Brock Osweiler off the Texans' hands, and got a second-round draft pick in 2018 for it, guys. Smart. That's not the usual kind of NFL deal that you see out here. But basically what it was the Browns had so much cap space, they basically got given a pick for taking Osweiler's big, huge Texans mistake off their hands. And I've got up here somewhere. Oh, man, I hate looking at what we've been doing here. It's just sad. Just sad. But the Browns are in great shape for the next 2 years in the draft. And yeah, I'm not expecting them to be great, although they should be an improved team. They got J.C. Treader. They have their starting center now. They locked down their their left tackle. They picked up a guard. They've improved. Their offensive line is going to be good. Now the question has always been with the Browns: can they ever find a decent quarterback? And frankly, Osweiler is probably an upgrade. They're trying to dump Osweiler. They only got him. They're trying to trade him off anyway. But they've got the money if they have to swallow it. They got rid of Griffin. So they've saved some money. They're trying to trade him. And of course, the Texans, with that money off their hands, with Osweiler off their hands, they can now go after, of course, Tony Romo. So they're going to wine and dine Tony Romo and see if they can get a deal done. Chuck says Osweiler is garbage. Yeah. Although I do think, I think as far as the Browns roster, he's probably an upgrade. Which is really sad to see. How low does the bar have to be, for crying out loud? Tristan says TJ Watt in the first round? Guys, it's hard to get excited because, look at what Thompson is doing right now, and you got to go, oh my gosh. I expect him to have a good draft. Tom wants the Browns to call Bernie Kosar back. Romani wants to get Christian McCaffrey. A lot of people in Packer Nation do. Did a great job at the Combine. But, my big thing is, number one, first-round running back, I just don't want one. I want defense, period. I don't care who is on the board. Because we've already got offense, especially if we can actually get a deal done with Jared Cook. And the thing with McCaffrey is, what is he going to add? We already have a McCaffrey on the team in Ty Montgomery. So there's only so many offensive series you have. And the fact of the matter is, if our defense isn't good enough to give the ball back, we're only going to score at most 30 points a game. And our defense is going to give up because our defense is going to give up 40 a game. We didn't even keep Micah Hyde. So, yeah, I think the guy's a great prospect. TJ Water, Adoree Jackson. Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like you already have to turn your focus back to the draft but I am still hoping that we get at least one or two of these guys that are going for visits back. But again, my big hesitation is Ted Thompson is not looking at the Packers as if they have the same number in cap space that everybody else wants to talk about. Everybody wants to talk about $40 million. It's not that high anymore with of course, with Perry, but that's the number. Well, that's not the number. As far as I'm concerned, when you're talking about Ted Thompson, it's not the number, which really sucks. I mean, it really sucks, does it not? And Joseph says Hyde is underrated. Yeah, and he'll prove it. He'll have a chance to prove it because he got paid. I mean, he got a good payday. Rudy wants to impeach Thompson. How do we get this done, guys? You know, if it really push comes to shove, how do we get this done? I think this is my problem with the whole situation. It's the same thing when everybody talks about let's promote Elliott or Gutekunst. Let's get him. Let's promote him. And that's what Roger's asking. Who's the one that can fire Thompson? Well, I think it starts with our president, Murphy. And I got to tell you, I don't think that guy has the ball. I mean, I don't think he has the cojones to get that kind of ball in motion. I really don't. I mean, I like the guy, but I just really don't see him being able to stand up and say, listen, it's time. We need to get something done and get it done now, or it's time to make a change. If you're not going to get this team together and do something, and all we're going to do year in and year out is watch our best players exit, then it's time to go. McCarthy should step in and make his voice heard. Yeah, and I don't know. You know, I don't know how much he does. That's the problem. It's like, well, and there were rumblings that McCarthy was not happy with Ted Thompson not giving them enough weapons. But who knows? You know, I don't know if there anything vocal actually happened. Like, so it's hard to gauge, and it's disappointing and frustrating. And now today we may have some really bad news. I was expecting really bad news when, we didn't know if Nick Perry hit, he was going to make tons of money. And I was expecting a really bad day. Well, the Nick Perry I felt pretty good yesterday morning. And then 4 o'clock came around and nothing else had happened. And all we hear all day long is about everybody else making moves. And the Packers signing Don Barkley. And that one, frankly, was like a slap in the face. It's like, give me a break. This is all we can get done. I mean, come on. David is asking if someone is thinking about talking to the agent, the Squirrels agent. Drinking coffee, Joshua. It's cold and it's the dregs now. So. And it's just the old cheap. I drink the coffee generally, unless I have a little extra money, which is never. 8 o'clock coffee that my grandpa used to drink. That's basically the coffee and if you prepare it well, it's good. And Peter sent me some Loreno Cafe Loreno, I think it was called. So that I drank some good coffee then. That was enjoyable, Peter. I appreciated that very much. All right, Donald. We will struggle again. A-Rod will save the season again. Yeah, and I think if you're with me, you think save the season means we find a way to get into the playoffs, and we certainly don't go the distance. I mean, I just don't see us going the distance if we don't get something done. Kevin says cold brew. I cold brew this as well. I have my actual coffee maker. Maybe I should bring it on one of these days. It's a cut bottle coffee maker that I designed myself. And I love, my favorite way to make coffee is just gravity pour over. This one you can do pour over is what I usually do. You can plug it and brew it just like Scott grew up with 8 o'clock coffee as well. To me, it's nostalgic, like as much as anything. But I can do basically a French press style. I love French press. The thing I don't like about French press is that the coffee stays on the ground. Unless you pour it into a carafe, it sits on the ground. So I don't like that. My system, you unplug it and roll it all off into a carafe that holds the bottle, the cut bottle, and it makes good coffee. I like it. And I can also cold press. So I've got the plug in there. I can just put the water in, cap it, leave it overnight. The cap is basically the bottle, the rest of the bottle, the bottom of the bottle. Rudy, is that coffee Irish this morning? Yeah, I wish. What day is St. Patrick's Day? Today's the 10th. Okay, guys, and here's the true confession. Like, St. Patrick's Day is my favorite holiday. And I won't be doing a cussing thing this time around. So that just adds to the next Friday. Okay, thank you, Trevor. I didn't think I'd missed it, but unfortunately, I guess what I might end up doing is just cutting across the creek, making some food over there. I make an unbelievable Guinness pie. I will not have the money to make that this time around. Patrick says Ted Thompson has given him ulcers. Guys, this is therapy day, all right? And this is anything goes. We need to just lay it all out on the table. And we're too complacent is this is kind of the through line. Is Raji coming back? No. Virginia's daughter is St. Patrick's Day. Well, happy birthday in advance. If you jump on, we'll give her a shout out next Friday. That should be your show, so I should see plenty of the comments. What do you think about GB having a player like Torrey Smith? I think it isn't going to happen. I mean, I just don't go, I don't know. It's sad because it's hard to talk about it because it's not going to happen. Gary says, arg. Just arg, which is my sentiments exactly. Virginia, okay, good. We'll look forward to that because I probably will forget, unfortunately. So, Ted Thompson, is Ted Thompson bringing us Oreos or Hydrox today, Virginia? I think the latter. I just don't see. Micah's gone. Yeah, he's gone. Time to go. 11 free agents, going to lose a lot of people. And this was the thing. I mean, we tried to temper our enthusiasm because we knew we were going to lose a few people, right? But what we didn't know was, and we still don't to some extent, is are we going to do anything to fill those gaps? We're going to go back to draft and destroy. We've got the one extra compensatory pick this year. Now, with what I'm seeing now, I'm just going to expect Ted Thompson to be Ted Thompson and do pretty much nothing. Stand pat. I thought we were going to get John Dorsey as a GM. Nope. Maybe Ted Thompson is a mole. Could be. He's doing a good job. Janelle says, have a great day to everybody. Yeah, we'll get ready to close her up. Gone over 35 minutes. Sometimes we go an hour. I started out trying to go 20 minutes, but it just doesn't work. There's too much to talk about. Richard, Ted Thompson shoots a hole in my enthusiasm for the upcoming season. That's the saddest part. And this is the way it works, when the draft rolls around, we'll get all excited again. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. This is the period where I think we might see something happen. But one of the things we know, Alec, why Barkley? For crying out loud. But what we know is going to happen, what we know we're going to hear, is that some of our good players are now going to sign with other teams. We know that's going to happen at this point. And it would have been easier to brace yourself for this had we, gotten a deal done with Jared Cook or somebody, for crying out loud. Ronnie says, tomorrow's a new day. Trying to be positive, and that's good. That's good. Want to let you guys put it all on the table today. That was my goal. Whether you're, trying to stand pat and be a little bit positive about it, just sort of wait and see. Or if you're just plain frustrated. It's all good. It's all good. Josh says in the first round, Green Bay selects a punter. Rudy says we need Cook. I think Cook right now is job one for us. And the fact of the matter is we have shown that the Packer brass do not apparently see much value in Cook. Bennett's still out there. So, maybe that's what they have in mind. I don't know. Matthew is almost ready to go to prison to help Ted Thompson move out. Man. Day is not over and the sun shines on... yeah. It's not. It isn't. Actually, this is the period today is, and in the future, and this is what I said in my post. I said, I expect Ted Thompson to do virtually nothing to make a splash in the first 24 to 48 hours. So I had no expectation. The thing that I did, and if you watch the show, we talked about was I'd like to have signed more of our players back. The thing I don't like is hearing that talks have broken off with Jared Cook. Are you kidding me? TJ Lang's visiting the Hawks and the Lions. Eddie Lacy's going to see the Seahawks and the Vikings. This is the stuff that kind of gets under my craw a little bit. Joseph, no, I don't live in Green Bay. More's the pity. I am a Wisconsin boy forever. West Central Wisconsin, though. I didn't live in the Green Bay area. My sister lives in Sheboygan, we call it Sheboygan, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's such a beautiful town. I love that town. So I spend as much time up there as I can. Unfortunately, it's expensive. So that's the hang up there. I'm hoping to spend more time each year. Some years it works out, some years it doesn't. Which brings me to, and I'll probably conclude with this, guys. I'd like to, whoever's still left on. Thomas is from Sheboygan. All right, good deal. Man, I love that town. Now, it's easy for me because I just get to visit there, so I don't have to go through the entire winter up there. But I do like to go up and visit my mom. That's part of the whole point of this entire scenario that I'm trying to build for myself is today I want to give a shout out to my momsy. She's up there in Black River Falls, Wisconsin. She is not feeling well at all. She has, I forget what it's called, pleurisy, I think, or something, lung problems, and is basically having a lot of pain in her rib cage area and having a lot of trouble breathing. So if you would maybe put up, we call her Mammy K. If you guys would give a little shout out and some well wishes to Mammy K, I would very much appreciate it. This is where it really sucks to be far away, and that maybe she could really use somebody to make her a bowl of soup or something this morning, something good for her, and have somebody to chat with. She's all by herself, and it's not a happy situation when mom isn't feeling well, and having trouble breathing is more than just not feeling well. It's kind of scary. And thank you, Gary. Mammy K is, I don't know, that's the name that Chad and Mitzi, my sister and my brother-in-law, gave her. Mammy K. And they have a theme song, so I will sing you the theme song. The theme song goes, Mammy K, Space Cadet, choking on a pork chop. That's the theme song for Mammy K. And my brother-in-law actually made t-shirts, Mammy K t-shirts. It's freaking hilarious. Thank you so much, Wayne. I really appreciate it, Patrick. Thank you, Jay. And I'll let her know she watches the show when she gets a chance. I have been I tried to call yesterday and didn't get an answer, so I'm expecting that she's resting as much. Matthew says we need the soup emoji. Thank you so much, guys. I know my mom would really appreciate it, and I really appreciate it because it's just one way to at least say, tell her, Mom, we love you. I hope you feel better very, very soon. This is a little 4'9" woman. Thank you, Peter and Mario, who works with adult developmentally disabled folks and loves them to death. And they love her, and they're sort of life-changing folks to work with. They give her so many laughs and so much love that she could retire, but she just won't do it. So more power to you, Mom, and hopefully I can get up and visit you soon. All right, thank you so much, folks, for those well wishes. My coffee is cold, and that is the signal that I should let all of you guys go. I do hope you have a safe and happy and enjoyable weekend. Maybe we'll get some good news yet. Let's not hold out. Let's not give up hope. Hope rings eternal when you're a Green Bay Packer fan, because we are going to love this team no matter what, no matter how frustrated we are. Tom says she works with me then. That's interesting, yeah. A really, really great group of people that she works with. I get a chance to say hi. Actually, some friends from high school. Sort of changes your worldview and your mindset. So, all right, have a great weekend, Scott. I appreciate all of you. Virginia, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back again Monday. Hopefully, we'll have some good news. I'm not sure if we're going to end up doing Total Tailgating Live. That may be pushed back to next week, just with the situation here. But if anything good happens, I may jump on live, excuse me, at any time if something good happens. And that's, of course, a very big if as Packer fans. Later, Richard, we'll see all of you guys on Monday. Same Pack time, same Pack place. Have a great day, great weekend. Go Pack.
Packer Nation worldwide.